We come to fight back. So the next person I'm bringing to the mic is Aja Monet. She's somewhere in the crowd.
Right here.
Make your way.
Oh, okay. So please welcome Aja Monet to the bullhorn.
I'm not gonna use that.
You know? Okay.
Yeah, I'm too. My spirit be like weird with stuff like that. Okay, so I just want to say, I'm from East New York, Brooklyn. My family has been largely affected by police brutality all of our lives. Every man I know and that I have loved in my family has faced shackles and imprisonment and has been attacked by this brutal system. And I just want to say we're in a state of emergency. We've always been in a state of emergency, and it's sad that it takes situations like this for us to come together. There are people in this space right now who have been doing this work for years. Years. Not just yesterday, not just tomorrow. They've dedicated their lives to a struggle, committed every day. And I think that shouldn't be just a few people. It shouldn't just be some of us. Every day as a human citizen, we have an obligation to better this world for our future. We have an obligation as citizens of this world. That's not just for people here locally. That's for everybody globally. When we see injustice anywhere, it is injustice everywhere. All right? I believe heavily in arts education, so I invest in that. That's where I do my work. That's how I feel I can contribute. Everyone here can contribute something. Gil Scott Heron used to say, even if you don't got a job, there's always some shit you could be doing. All right? So you might not have a job. You might not think that you can add or contribute your voice, but there's always somebody that needs help. Even if you just need to give a lending hand to encourage someone. Our communities need to know that that is here. That we look after each other. That when we see an injustice, we don't just watch and videotape an injustice happening. That we say it's wrong and we try to stop that. We have to organize to fight and empower each other against police brutality, against people that abuse authority. Too many people are given authority and we give them that. We have to remember we give authority. All right? I want to spread love. The biggest thing I think we need as a woman of color, I'm going to say that that's the most revolutionary thing you can do is love somebody. And you can say whatever you want about throwing up a fist, but you have to have love to throw up a fist first.
That's right.
All right? You have to have love to pull a gun and a trigger to somebody first. All right? Hatred doesn't come out of nowhere. All right? That either comes out of lovelessness or the longing for love. All right, so we're all out here longing for love. We're longing to connect. That's why you came out here. You're longing to feel a part of something.
Right.
All right, so just know that. Know that we're human first. We feel. Do not deny your feelings. Do not feel as if you cannot feel. You are allowed to be angry. You are allowed to be outraged. You are allowed to fight however you feel you need to fight. But use your voice and use your power. I'm going to do one poem because that's the only way I know how to contribute to anything. And I wrote this poem when I was 19. I've been fighting injustice since I was 13, and I continue to fight. I'm 27 now, and I work with young people in the community. All right? So this poem is called The Young. The young know no boundaries. We quake the earth on our tongues and spit whirlwinds for lynch pendulums of our yesterday's dream for better days. Sometimes mothers free hummingbirds from their rib cage, and they don't always learn the art of flying. In our youth, we listen to the world laugh at the sport of us dying. Seafarer of prisons we be in arm's reach of reality. How dare they ask us to leave this scene of the crime where there is no rhythm to the rhyme of a dead heartbeat. Let us speak for the slaves still dancing the soul train at the bottom of the sea. How we marching against warfare with chopped feet, deaf ears and no voice to speak. They take our freedoms and our minds and our right to bleed. So I nail my pumping heart with a pen and I write to bleed. Children slit their wrists everywhere to be like Jesus and exist a fisherman of fish in the sea. Mothers raise their children to become flowers but then become their weeds. Attached at the womb, boys grow into men but they never leave. Trying to fit back in and make a belly rotated sun around the world 360 degrees. We pass our failures on to our youth and expect them to follow the lead. Ritualizing our death, rocking skulls and bones in our chests. Greek Nike checks, they want to bury us alive like Masons, and I wouldn't be surprised if I died for what I'm saying. Life's a game and I've been playing, I ain't got time to be tired. I'm not fighting for freedom or justice, I'm fighting for my soul. Sold, lingering on wires like converses between two telephone poles. Above hood concrete where we bleed, cooing and whisper we speak from our graves, because our freedom of speech is buried and encaged in the prisons they breed. The world, I used to think I could save it, but I grew up on a block where it was easy to fall through the cracks in the pavement. I earned my poetic license so that I could say shit. Haunted by the blood in me because a junkie father raped it. I used to live my whole life jonesing to change it. Rebelling against my mind because I got so used to our enslavement. I share my soul on a stage in hopes to get young people off their slave ships into the adults you have just witnessed an old soul's reincarnation. How we quiver and cringe at the sight of an Iraqi nation, children strapping their hearts to bombs as if God didn't say shit. How he will send shields and swords in our wombs and we will face it. So when a child comes to you with a fist full of questions, bloody knuckles and all, and asks you why her heart is so cold and why her fingers are so numb, how are we all going to answer her? Thank you. Peace, love. That's the only thing we need. And much love to the women that organized this and spoke. All right? Y'all have a good day.
She just dropped the invisible revolutionary mic. Okay, so while she was speaking, I heard people say Ashe. So what we're gonna do is call out the names of police brutality victims, vigilante victims, and authority victims, men and women, and then we're gonna say Ashe. Is that all right with everybody? Yes. I'll start. Sean Bell. Ashe. Call them out. Ashe. 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 Keep calling them. Ashe.
Johnny Gray.
Ashe.
Jesus Huerta.
Ashe.
Fred Hampton.
Ashe.
Andy Lopez.
Ashe. Ashe.
Kenny Lazo.
Ashe. Ashe.
AJ Marion.
Ashe.
Oscar Grant.
Ashe.
Pearly Goldie.
Ashe.
Amadou Diallo.
Ashe. Ashe. Ashe.
Ernesto Dueñas.
Ashe. Ashe.
Anthony Baez.
Ashe.
Israel Hernandez.
Ashe.
Andy Lopez.
Ashe.
Reinaldo Cuevas.
Ashe. Chantal Davis. Ashe.
Too many goddamn names.
Ashe.
Kenneth Harden Jr.
Ashe. Ashe.
Anthony Baez.
Ashe.
Sean Bell.
Ashe.
Benicia McBride.
Ashe.
Michael Naida.
Ashe.
Nicholas Hayward Jr.
Ashe.
Samir Rice.
Ashe.
John Crawford.
Ashe.
Jordan Davis.
Ashe.
Molly Graham.
Ashe. Anybody else? Or
Reinaldo Cuevas.
Jason
Ashe.
Ramirez.
Ashe.
Guy who got shot last night by LAPD.
Ashe.
We don't know.
Ashe.
Monty Gray.
Ashe.
Jose de la Trinidad, Los Angeles.
Ashe.
Sharice Williams.
Ashe. Ashe.
Chantal Davis.
Ashe.
Muhammad Ba.
Ashe.
John Jones.
Ashe.
Remain Brisbane Tuesday. Arizona.
Ashe.
Tamon Robinson.
Ashe.
Warwick Jackson.
Ashe.
All the unreported.
Ashe.
Timothy Stansberg.
Ashe. Ashe. And this is gonna be morbid, but all those who are gonna die today, and all those who will die if we don't bring a stop to it.
Right.
So I'm gonna say free Palestine, and you're gonna repeat it. And the reason why I'm gonna say I'm bring up Palestine is because the Palestinians have a true spirit of revolution and struggle. And in Palestine, people in Palestine had signs that said, "We stand with you in Palestine, Ferguson." They were making videos to teach people in Ferguson how to withstand police assault because they know what it's like to be killed by military and their government. So just like we're here in the United States, there's a whole world of people who are fighting against oppression who stand with us, who are looking at us and what we're doing. So free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
I want to welcome Harabic, a Palestinian sister born born in London, so don't confuse the accent. She is Palestinian to the bone, to the blood. And please welcome her to the bullhorn.
Peace, thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me here. I know it's a sad situation, but it's also beautiful to see people come together. My name is Harabik. Some of you know me as Nancy. I am 100% Palestinian. The only reason I was born in London is because they stole our shit and my father moved. But my dad did go back and buy a house, so we go back every year. And this last summer I was there for 4 months. And I was there while they were bombing Gaza, which is a city in Palestine that they've closed off and built a wall around, where there's over 2 million people living on top of each other. They murdered over 2,200 people this summer. And I spent my entire summer in hospitals with kids who lost their legs and kids who lost their arms and their entire families. And while I was out there, Michael Brown was murdered by the pigs in Ferguson. And so we had a demonstration straight away for Michael Brown. And I want to tell you a couple of things. Like, one, as far as the media is concerned, they reported about what happened in a synagogue a week ago, and we were on the front papers. It said Palestinian savages, because that's what the New York Post and all the Zionist murderers call us. But they didn't mention that for 2 weeks prior to that, Israeli settlers ran over 2 5-year-old girls, killing one. Israeli settlers hung a Palestinian brother by the name of Yusuf Ronami, 32 years old, on a bus. He was an Israeli citizen just like me. The Palestinians that live within 48, which is still occupied and called Israel, we're Israeli citizens. They call us Israeli Arabs, like they call your African Americans, as if it's their country to call a motherfucker from somewhere else anyway, right? So they call us Arab Israelis. And this brother was an Arab Israeli who was murdered, hung on a bus, the same bus company he worked for. And he had 2 small boys, but nobody mentioned that in the papers in America. They also shot a 13-year-old boy in the face. Ordwa, sorry, the names, Hamdan, there's so many names. We also have kids under the age of 12 locked up. They get up to 20 years for throwing stones at soldiers who put an M16 in their face. A couple of weeks ago too, a brother who was 22 years old on video, his name is Khair Hamdan, rest in peace, he's from a village next to my mother's village called Kufr Kanna. On video, he ran up to a police van, they were demonstrating, and he banged on the window, and the cops came out the van and shot him 6 times point blank on video, then ran up to him while he was bleeding on the floor and punched him in his back, and then dragged him into the van where he died. So none of that was mentioned. All that was mentioned was the retaliation that the PFLP claimed when they went into a synagogue and murdered Israeli citizens. So the media here is controlled. That's another reason why we do have jobs to do. We got to put out our own news. We don't need, I saw a news station here earlier, we don't need none of these motherfuckers. You understand? No, I'm serious. We don't need them because they ain't gonna report no real shit. The one time that we made the mistake, I have an organization called Existence is Resistance. When we started it in 2009, there was a dinner at the Marriott Hotel while Israel was bombing little children in Gaza in 2009. And spraying white phosphorus into civilian areas in Gaza, which is illegal under international law. Israeli army officials and commandos were having a dinner at the Marriott Hotel in Times Square. So there was a demonstration. The sister that works with me did an interview on Channel 7. They cut off everything she said about why we were there, that we wanted them to stop killing our children, and they put Hamas supporters show up outside Marriott. That's the kind of media we got, you know what I'm saying? The one thing I do thank Israel for, and I realized this year being there that long and being in demonstrations where in one demo that we had against them bombing our people an hour away in Gaza, 282 people got shot in front of me, 7 of them being my friends. One guy in the face lost his eye, one guy in the chest, he died. Muhammad al-A'raj, rest in peace, 18-year-old. And then a couple of sisters got shot, in the legs, in the stomach, in the thighs. After seeing all that, the one thing I thank Israel for is giving us the strength to never give up and keep resisting. And the one thing I saw in the Palestinians that we need to have here is not have any fear whatsoever. These motherfuckers standing over there that weren't invited, they don't scare nobody. We pay them. And and no one's paying them to kill our children. And they have an office in Tel Aviv in Israel. They're trained by the same sick motherfuckers killing my people. And that's why I stand with everybody here. Rest in peace, Akai Gurley. My love goes out to his family. Thank you, everybody. Peace. And one more thing, like Malcolm X said, if you ain't ready to die for it, take freedom out your vocabulary.
That's right.
All right. That's why you gotta have women speak. I'm saying.
To Palestine,
Go ahead.
occupation is a crime.
From Ferguson to Palestine, occupation is a crime. You trying to put different cities? Go ahead. Okay, I'm not messing with y'all back there. The reason, one of the things I brought up women is because women have always been on the front lines of struggle and revolution. When Rodney King was killed, the reason why it went to the streets is because the mothers and the girlfriends and the sisters and the daughters took the streets. They were the revolutionary ones. Yes. They were the OGs that took the streets. Yes. We talk about the Panthers a lot. Yes. We talk about Huey. We don't talk about Catherine. Well, we don't talk about Asada. Right. We got to be careful how we speak. Yes. And no offense to the brothers here, but women have always been the ones who, against all patriarchy from the system and within their organizations, have stood up and took to the streets. I went to demos, I seen babies, mothers with their kids. And you know those are revolutionary babies because they're not even crying. They have to march on the shoulders of their parents like, yeah, this is what it's about right here. That's right. This is amazing. Miss V could tell you, if her son was here, he could recite the whole manifesto of what it means to have cop watch. He knows it. Now there's a flip to that. Why is it that her young son must know how to act to not be killed by a police officer? So these are what women are teaching their young children. How to stay alive when you go to school. How to not beat up on your way back. And this is why we wanted to have women have the forefront. Now we're going to open it up later. Don't worry. I see people, your eyes glistening. I know y'all want to get up here. But we wanted to make sure that the women from all struggles and organizations, there's different groups here. But we're here out of solidarity to Akai Gurley and to every police brutality victim. People that died or been abused by cops throughout these buildings and these streets. So the next person I'm going to have speak, I just met her through our organizing with this. Her name is Marianne. She's part of the Black Autonomy Federation. She's been here doing outreach, going door to door, doing her thing. So please give her a round of applause.
Hi, everybody. My name is Marianne Wills. I'm with the Black Autonomy Federation. Hi, everyone. My name is Marianne Wills, and I'm with the Black Autonomy Federation. I went ahead and